The elegantly appointed conference room at Dad's law firm overlooked the city's financial district through floor-to-ceiling windows that filtered the late afternoon sunlight across polished mahogany furniture and leather-bound legal volumes. I sat uncomfortably in a high-backed chair while my parents flanked the head of the conference table, their expressions serious and determined as they prepared to deliver what they had clearly rehearsed as an important life lesson about financial responsibility and adult maturity. Mom adjusted her designer reading glasses and consulted several official-looking documents spread across the table's gleaming surface. Her Chanel suit and perfectly styled hair projected the image of someone accustomed to handling important family business decisions with authority and precision. Dad, equally impressive in his tailored pinstripe suit, tapped his Mont Blanc pen against his legal pad with the rhythmic confidence of someone preparing to negotiate a complex business arrangement. Rebecca, Dad began with the measured tone he used for addressing clients about serious financial matters. Your mother and I have called this meeting because we're deeply concerned about your financial trajectory and its implications for your future security and independence. I remained silent, knowing that any attempt to defend my lifestyle choices would only fuel their intervention strategy. At 27, I was the family disappointment who had chosen to work as a freelance social media consultant instead of pursuing what they considered a serious career in law, medicine, or corporate finance like they had built for themselves over decades of professional achievement. Your spending patterns are completely unsustainable, Mom continued, pulling out what appeared to be a comprehensive financial analysis they had prepared for this confrontation. Credit card balances, rent shortfalls, car maintenance expenses, medical bills, all of it constantly requiring family assistance to prevent financial catastrophe. The numbers they presented painted a picture of someone living beyond her means and depending on parental bailouts to maintain a lifestyle that exceeded her modest income. What they didn't know was that my freelance work was actually a carefully constructed cover for something much more substantial and financially complex. Look at these figures, Dad said, spreading bank statements and expense reports across the table with prosecutorial precision. 18 months of emergency financial assistance totaling over $47,000. This pattern of financial irresponsibility cannot continue indefinitely. Mom nodded emphatically while highlighting various transactions with her expensive pen. Restaurants you can't afford, clothing purchases that exceed your monthly income, vacation expenses that require family loans, all of it demonstrates a fundamental lack of financial maturity and planning. The irony was so overwhelming I had to suppress a smile while they detailed my supposed financial recklessness. Every dollar they considered emergency assistance had actually come from investment returns and financial structures that I controlled completely. Starting immediately, Mom announced with the finality she used for household policy changes, no more family financial assistance for non-essential expenses. No more credit card payment bailouts, no more rent supplements, no more loans for lifestyle maintenance. You're financially irresponsible, she lectured, her voice carrying the sharp edge of someone delivering necessary harsh truths to an ungrateful adult child. It's time to learn real financial discipline and accountability like every other functioning adult in society. Dad leaned forward with the expression he used when delivering closing arguments to juries. We've enabled your lack of financial planning for too long. The constant handouts and emergency assistance have prevented you from developing genuine money management skills and career ambition. The declaration hung in the air like expensive cologne, overwhelming and impossible to ignore. I could sense this was the climactic moment of their carefully orchestrated intervention designed to shock me into conventional financial responsibility. No more handouts, Dad repeated for emphasis. You need to sink or swim on your actual income without any family safety net to cushion your poor financial decisions. At that exact moment, my phone rang with a call from Whitman Financial Services, our family's accounting firm. Perfect timing for what I knew would be a routine quarterly business discussion about family financial management. Excuse me, I said calmly, answering the phone while maintaining direct eye contact with my increasingly confident parents. This is Rebecca Thompson. Ms. Thompson, this is David Chen from Whitman Financial. We're processing the quarterly family account authorizations, and we need your approval for your parents' credit card processing and automated payment systems. I listened to the update while watching my parents' expressions shift from satisfaction to confusion as they heard themselves mentioned in my business call. I see, I said into the phone. And what happens if I don't authorize the credit card processing? All automated payments would be suspended immediately, including household expenses, insurance premiums, and discretionary spending authorizations. I looked directly at my parents' increasingly puzzled faces and said clearly, "No. Deny all authorization requests until further notice." "Certainly, Ms. Thompson. All family accounts are now frozen pending your review." I hung up and watched reality hit my parents like a financial freight train. "What was that phone call about?" Dad demanded, though his voice carried more confusion than his usual courtroom authority. "Why was our accountant calling you about our credit cards?" Before I could respond, the conference room door opened and a woman in an expensive business suit entered, carrying a leather portfolio and wearing the serious expression reserved for delivering important financial news. "Ms. Thompson? I'm Janet Morrison from Morrison & Associates Financial Planning. I apologize for interrupting your family meeting, but we have some urgent documentation regarding the Thompson family financial management structure that requires your immediate attention." My parents looked bewildered as Janet approached my side of the table rather than addressing Dad, who clearly expected to be the focus of any serious financial discussion involving the family. "I'm sorry," Dad said, standing with the authority he was accustomed to wielding in legal and business situations, "but I handle all financial planning for this family. If there are documents requiring signature, they should be brought to me." Janet looked genuinely surprised as she consulted her documents. "Mr. Thompson, I believe there's been a significant misunderstanding about your family's financial structure. Rebecca has been the primary financial administrator and account manager for all family assets since her 25th birthday." The silence that followed was so complete I could hear the air conditioning humming and papers rustling in the adjacent offices. "That's completely impossible," Mom said weakly, though her voice lacked its usual confidence. "Rebecca doesn't have the financial expertise or legal authority for family account management." Janet opened her portfolio and pulled out several official documents. "Actually, Ms. Thompson completed her certified financial planning credentials and family office management certification through Wharton's executive program. She's been managing your family's comprehensive financial portfolio very successfully for the past 2 years." Dad's face had gone pale as he processed this unexpected information. "What family financial portfolio?" "The Thompson Family Financial Management Trust," Janet explained, consulting her documents with professional precision. "Current managed assets total approximately $34.7 million, including investment portfolios, real estate holdings, business interests, and liquid cash management." I watched my parents' expressions transform from confusion to dawning horror as the reality began to penetrate their shock. "The emergency assistance you've been providing me," I said quietly. "It comes from the family trust. My trust that I manage." "This is absolutely ridiculous," Mom snapped, but her voice cracked with uncertainty. "We would have been informed about something this important to the family's financial security." Janet pulled out a certified copy of the trust documentation. The trust was structured to transfer complete management authority to the youngest child upon demonstrating appropriate financial competency, with the understanding that they would continue supporting family members while building additional wealth. Dad grabbed the document with shaking hands, his legal expertise allowing him to quickly scan the binding language that confirmed his worst fears. "This says Rebecca Thompson has complete discretionary authority over all family financial assets and distributions." "For the past 2 years," I confirmed. "I've been managing your investment portfolios, approving your household expenses, and processing your credit card authorizations while you assumed I was financially irresponsible." My phone rang again, this time from the family's private banking division. "Excuse me," I said, answering while my parents listened in growing alarm. "Ms. Thompson, this is Patricia Walsh from First National Private Banking. We've received your authorization denial for the Thompson family accounts. Should we proceed with suspending all automatic payments and credit facilities?" "Yes, please implement the suspension immediately," I said calmly. "Certainly. All family accounts are now locked pending new authorization protocols." I hung up and looked at my parents' stricken faces. "That was the bank confirming that your financial access has been suspended." "Suspended?" Mom whispered, her designer handbag suddenly feeling heavy in her lap. Janet consulted her tablet and began reading details that shattered their remaining illusions. Charles and Eleanor Thompson receive $18,000 monthly for household management and personal expenses, plus unlimited credit authorization for discretionary spending, all processed through Rebecca's financial management oversight. The numbers seemed to echo through the conference room like financial thunderclaps. "This is absolutely insane," Dad exploded, though his voice shook with panic rather than authority. "Even if this documentation is somehow legitimate, I've been practicing law for 35 years. I built this family's wealth through my own professional expertise and legal practice." "You built a successful practice," I acknowledged. "But the family assets, the investment portfolios, and the financial security you've been enjoying come from trust structures that I've been managing while you lectured me about financial irresponsibility." Janet pulled out a comprehensive financial analysis. "Mr. Thompson's law practice generates approximately $340,000 annually, while the family's lifestyle expenses total $520,000. The difference has been provided through trust distributions that Rebecca approves monthly." Mom was frantically checking her phone, probably discovering that her credit cards were being declined. "Rebecca, this is impossible. Our household expenses, our club memberships, our vacation plans. All funded through financial management that I provide," I confirmed. "Your country club dues, your luxury car leases, your insurance premiums, everything flows through account structures that require my authorization." "But we have savings accounts, investment portfolios, retirement funds," Dad protested desperately. Janet consulted another document. "Those accounts are managed sub-accounts of the main family trust. Rebecca has been optimizing your investment returns and tax strategies while maintaining the appearance that you were managing independent wealth." My phone buzzed with a call from the family's insurance company. "Ms. Thompson, this is Robert Kim from Premium Insurance Group. We're showing authorization issues for the Thompson family policy renewals. Should we proceed with coverage or suspend pending new payment arrangements?" I put the call on speaker so my parents could hear. "What policies are affected by the authorization suspension?" "Homeowners insurance, vehicle coverage, liability policies, and health insurance continuation, all requiring updated payment authorization from the account manager." Dad looked like he was having trouble breathing. "Our insurance coverage is being cancelled." "Suspended pending new financial arrangements," I corrected. "The same way my financial support is being suspended according to your intervention strategy." Janet handed me a comprehensive report. "We should also discuss the household staff and property maintenance arrangements. All of those expenses are processed through the trust accounts that are currently frozen." "Household staff." Mom's voice was barely a whisper. "The cleaning service, the landscaping company, the pool maintenance, the security system, all trust expenses that Rebecca has been authorizing monthly." Another call came in from the family's travel agency. "Ms. Thompson, the European vacation scheduled for next month is showing payment authorization issues. Should we proceed with the booking or cancel pending new arrangements?" "Please cancel all travel arrangements until further notice," I said, looking at my parents' horrified expressions. "Certainly. All Thompson family travel is now cancelled." Dad was making frantic phone calls to his banker, his voice becoming more desperate with each conversation. I could hear fragments: account access, authorization requirements, Rebecca's control. "The parents who said no more handouts," I observed, watching their growing panic, "just discovered that I control all the handouts. Every credit card payment, every household expense, every lifestyle maintenance cost." Mom started crying, her perfect makeup beginning to run. "Rebecca, we didn't understand the real situation. We thought you were depending on us financially." "I was depending on you," I replied. "Depending on you to treat me with respect instead of constant lectures about financial irresponsibility while I managed your entire financial ecosystem." I looked at my parents' desperate faces and felt a complex mixture of satisfaction and genuine sadness. For 2 years, I had quietly managed their financial lives while they built their intervention around my supposed fiscal irresponsibility. Today, that carefully hidden dynamic had been exposed in the most dramatic way possible. "Here's what's going to happen going forward," I announced, my voice remaining calm and professional despite the emotional weight of the situation. "Your financial access will be restored with new accountability measures. Your monthly allowance will be reduced to $12,000 with detailed expense reporting required. All discretionary spending over $500 requires advance approval. $12,000. Mom's voice cracked. That won't cover our current lifestyle expenses. Then you'll need to adjust your lifestyle to match your actual income, I replied matter-of-factly. The same advice you've been giving me about financial responsibility. Janet handed me revised account management agreements. I'll also be implementing weekly financial reviews and requiring detailed budgets for all household and personal expenses. You're micromanaging our lives, Dad protested weakly. I'm providing financial accountability, I corrected. The same accountability you insisted I needed to develop. What about our law practice? Our professional reputation? Will continue as long as you demonstrate financial responsibility and respect for your account manager, I informed him. Continued lectures about my supposed financial failures could result in further allowance reductions. Janet prepared the final documentation. These new terms take effect immediately. All family accounts will be restored under the revised oversight structure. My parents signed the agreements with trembling hands, officially acknowledging what had been true for years. Their financial security depended entirely on someone they had just spent an hour lecturing about money management. One final matter, I added as Janet prepared to leave. The financial irresponsibility you've been concerned about? I'm redirecting $8 million from the family trust into a financial literacy foundation, which means significantly less money available for family lifestyle maintenance. The number hit them like a financial asteroid. Money they had considered their automatic inheritance was being redirected to the educational work they had dismissed. The parents who said no more handouts, I concluded, standing to leave the conference room, just discovered that I am the one providing all the handouts. Every credit card payment, every household expense, every lifestyle choice, all of it flows through my approval.